समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Grateful salutations at the feet of our Lord, whom we lovingly call Swami. Bhagavata is an ongoing saga of devotees from the starting of the creation, with only the actors being different. One of the previous Vice Chancellors of Swami's University has mentioned in Swami's presence that even though the bad is a minority, they get highlighted because the vast majority of the good keep silent. My experiences may not be unique, but with the actors being different, I share them here for the joy of recounting them and expressing gratefulness to Swami for giving them. And here I go. Me Kuladevam Yavaru. This is the question Swami asked when he gave us an interview on June 22nd, 2000. Just a little bit of background. When the super specialty hospital in Whitefield is being constructed, Swami has selected groups of students to get trained in various areas of the hospital work. So he selected 9 of us to get trained in cath lab, perfusion, ICU at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. And the interview on June 22nd is one of the series of interviews which he has given in the next 2 years. For those who are not aware of what is an interview, it is an opportunity Swami provides to individuals and groups of individuals to interact with him for a specific time period in a room in Prashanti Mandir. Not knowing or not remembering whether my parents have told me who is my family deity, I responded to Swami saying, from my birth I am seeing you only, Swami. Now when Me Kuladevam Yavaru translates it as who is your family deity. So I said, Swami, from my birth I am seeing you only. I quote here what Swami has said about why he has come. Swami said, I have come not to disturb or destroy any faith, but to confirm each one in his own faith, to make a Christian a better Christian, a Muslim a better Muslim, and a Hindu a better Hindu. Swami has told many devotees, don't see your Kuladevam or Ishtadevam in me, don't replace them. So when Swami asked this question, I went back to my parents and asked who is my Kuladevam, and then in that process I came to know of a unbelievable story from my great grandfather times, which I would share some other time. Now that I have known Swami from my birth, my parents have joined me in Satyasai Vidya Vihar in Visakhapatnam, and then also put me into Balavikas classes. And the first time I had darshan of Swami was in 1980 or 81 when we came for the World Balavikas Conference. The World Puttaparthi at that time was not having many facilities, so we are housed in makeshift tents. My Balavikas teachers, Srimati Rajeshwaramma, was a staunch devotee of Swami, and then they are a very devout couple. They have shifted to Puttaparthi in the last decade and was serving in the general hospital and all that. But they have got us to Puttaparthi, and we had the first darshan of Swami. And that is the first time also we have seen the omnipotence of Swami. Ours is a makeshift tent, and then one day it rained all around except on the tent. There is not a drop of water in the tent, and suppose the ground becomes wet all around, you will find some dampness in under the tent. There is not even a dampness in our area, nor the wetness on the tent. So this was the first time we have seen the Swami's omnipotence. We came back, and then I continued our studies, and then I applied for 11th in the school, couldn't get it, even though I was one of the top rankers in the university. And then I think Swami decided that I should join for the bachelor's program in 1992. That was the right time for me to come. So I share some of my experiences after coming to Swami as part of my prayers to Swami. It is something I think which I felt was relevant in the current times, and then felt that could be a better thing. When we are playing a video of Swami's darshan in Sai Ramesh Hall to give an idea of the settings of this experience. So I was sitting in the first line of the second block towards the central path, little towards the central path, and then I was having a paper in my hand and praying to Swami for blessings. Swami was coming for darshan. Swami was going on his darshan rounds. He is blessing someone, he is looking at someone, smiling at someone, patting someone, taking letter from someone, speaking to someone. So many activities Swami does during his darshan rounds, satisfying every person. And then as he passed me, the paper in my hand went into Swami's hand. As you can see the reactions in the video of some people, they should be very happy. So I should be very happy. But then I was stunned and shocked that the paper went into Swami's hand. The reason for this is, as every child has a dream of an engineer, doctor or something, my dream was to become an IAS officer. To joining Swami's university was like hitting a treasure trove for me, because I was exposed to many books in various subjects which actually helped me to prepare for the civils. So in the final year of my graduation, I applied for the civil services exam, and next day is the exam, and the hall ticket is Swami. How am I going to write the exam? How am I going to realize my dreams? We are all full of our own dreams and thoughts, and it takes, Swami said, only I know the amount of trouble I need to take to teach each one of you the dance steps so that you become an image of Nataraja. So he has to empty the dreams now to fill it with something else. So he has taken off the letter, which we don't know that time. When you look back, all this analysis comes in. But at that time I was really unhappy. So there are so many thoughts going in my mind saying, you didn't hold the paper properly so that Swami could have seen that it is a hall ticket and not a letter and would have blessed it. Or Swami didn't know the importance of what he is taking. Like that, so many thoughts go around, monkey mind. And then I decided, okay, let me run to Swami before he turns towards the stage or towards ladies' side and ask for my hall ticket back. As I was getting up, in the process of getting up, a voice suddenly starts speaking to me from inside, but it is not me. It's not my mind or my intellect or anything. It can only be experience. I cannot explain it. How many are words, it cannot be explained. But then a voice starts speaking from inside of me, asking only one question. Only once that question reverberates. Do you believe Swami is God? Now, based on my previous experiences, previous mention in the speech, I cannot deny it. So again I was turned and then slowly sat down. But the monkey mind does not allow you to be quiet. It says, okay, you ask the Dr. Padmanabhan who is going behind Swami later on. You ask somebody staying inside 3 or somebody going inside 3 to get your hall ticket back and all that. For every thought, there is only one barricade, the highest level of barricade that can be given. Do you believe Swami is God? If I am saying yes, I will have to accept that Swami has knowingly taken the hall ticket with an indication that I should not write. But then I couldn't, so I didn't, that went off that year like that. But when the electrical switch is switched off, the fan keeps rotating for some time like that. Couple of more times I applied, but I couldn't never bring myself to write the exam. The reason Swami gives these experiences, only he knows. But for now, from that time, I am with SAI Sai, the reverse of IAS. Swami is so compassionate that he doesn't even wait for you to pray sometimes. He is ever watchful of you. He is never leave you when you are trying to make an irreversible mistakes. This is one of those to show that Swami's compassion. When I joined the bachelor's program in Puttaparthi with a group, with MPC group, I was clear from day one that my honors subject in the third years would be mathematics. Not that I am not good at physics or chemistry, I am equally good, but my subject was mathematics always. The reason being, from my childhood, the mathematics paper, the maximum marks, the minimum marks I can get in the mathematics paper are the maximum marks allowed by the question paper. So, if the maximum marks allowed by the question paper are 100 or 150, I would be getting that, minimum I should be getting that. But my teachers never gave me that percentage by cutting half mark or 1 mark, saying you don't put a comma or a semicolon or your handwriting is not good. These are the reasons for not giving me 100%. But then I was pretty clear that mathematics was my subject of honors. So in the second year, when the time came for us to choose the subject, I just immediately gave mathematics as my top subject and left it at that. And that year, Swami was not in Puttaparthi most of the time, 93, 94. He was spending at Brindavan frequently. And many students have the habit of asking Swami what honors subject to take. Many people in school also have the habit of asking Swami which subject to take, group to take, like that, what to do after 12th and all that. Many students have the habit of asking Swami, and Swami used to tell. But since I was very clear, I was fixed in my selection of mathematics, I didn't even want to check with Swami. Didn't even think of checking with Swami. Couple of days before the final day of the honors, of the selection of the subject, one of my classmates comes to me and says, I had a dream in which Swami is telling you to take physics. Now, if it had been currently, if it had been at the once we cross the college and we are in 30s and 40s, we would think, how do I believe you? Why could Swami could have come and told me in a dream? Swami could have told me during the darshan round. So, but we would not want to accept someone telling us that, because Swami also said my connection is heart to heart. There is no intermediaries in between. But at that point of time, at that age in our life, I think we have more trust in our friends than anyone else. And even though I dilly-dallied changing the selection from mathematics to physics, even then I didn't think of checking with Swami. So the dilly-dallied, but finally I changed to the physics in the last hour of the last day, which surprised even some of my classmates. But later on, it figured out for me that the mathematics I was comfortable with is in physics. Language of physics is mathematics. The mathematics I was comfortable with was in physics, and the mathematics which we actually read from the harness may not be my cup of tea. So in spite of we being fixed, Swami tries to give us directions. It's only left to us to be open to messages from Swami, and then not bother about the messenger as such, so that we can make the right choices. When I look back, it actually happened that this person was having a health problem, and he was praying to Swami so much that he was already tuned to Swami. While I was not praying, I was fixed, I was clear, I was not praying anything. But this person was in a prayerful mood to Swami because of his health problem, and he was actually tuned like radio to the airways which are all around. Maybe that would be the reason he got this, Swami has sent this message through him. So it is important for us to be in a prayerful mood always. The next experience I will be telling partly is about Swami's unconditional love. I mean, this is something which is mind-boggling for me to experience, but then that is what it is. Around 2008 or something, Swami become little erratic in darshans, and for those who observe Swami, they know how the schedule of Puttaparthi is and how it goes. Swami is not coming on time, or he is not coming for darshans at all, and for those who are going from Bangalore, it becomes little difficult. Like morning, we go in the evening bus, and morning darshan, if suppose Swami does not come, evening he comes after 4:30, and I come back by 5 o'clock bus, I will not have darshan after going all the way, which is normally the case. So I prayed to Swami, when I come to Puttaparthi, I want to have 2 darshans. I don't know if people can get the import of this, audacity of this prayer. When people in the past, like different yugas, have prayed, did tapas for thousands of years to have one darshan of Swami, I am praying here, Swami, when I come, I want to have 2 darshans. And then, okay, it is Swami's job to give darshan because he has come down as an avatar, he has to give darshan. When there are people from different places of the world who have come with so much of difficulties, and staying in Puttaparthi, coming and staying is a difficulty for them. There are people who are physical, mental, psychological problems, monetary problems, but still coming all the way to Puttaparthi and having darshan and going. And here I am going maybe by 2 buses or sometimes by a car and praying to Swami, when I come I want to have 2 darshans. But Swami never judges us like this. He didn't even think, maybe think also, when I am giving 2 darshans, you didn't come every week. He didn't hold it against me. He so compassionate and unconditional in his response to the prayers that he decided to let me know when he is going to give 2 darshans on a public holiday or Sunday, not on the weekdays, because weekdays anyway I cannot go. On a public holiday or Sunday, he decided to let me know when he is going to give darshan twice in a day. So I used to have a dream of Swami between Monday to Saturday mornings, any day of the week, but before a coming holiday. If suppose Monday I get a dream and Wednesday is a holiday, I know that on Wednesday Swami is going to come for 2 darshan, morning and evening, or the coming Sunday, if I get on a Saturday, but never on a holiday morning, on a holiday morning or Sunday morning where I cannot go to Puttaparthi. He decided, and he used to come, and I used to go like that, and it never happened that after that, when Swami gave 2 darshans on a Sunday or a holiday, I was not there. Suppose by chance I decide not to go also in spite of that, he doesn't want me to also have a small restriction in coming. He arranges transport. Somehow somebody will come and ask me, do you want to come, and I go. It's by car or something, and then come back. That much is the unconditional love of Swami. We just have to tap into that with our prayers. He has no reservations in responding if we are able to pray to him, and then we will surely reap the rewards. Now I come to post Mahasamadhi and work related experiences, couple of them. They were drug-eluting stents that have come in 2002 June or something, and they were quite costly, some 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 1,20,000. So we had some number. This is the number we can buy every month for our hospital, for our department. This was sometime in May, June of 2012, 1 year after Mahasamadhi, and then the number we can buy is actually lesser than the number of varieties that are available in the size. Different sizes of stents are there, 12, 15, 18, 20, 24, and in that multiple diameters. So the number we can buy actually are lesser than what are the sizes available. And our common policy in the department is that suppose you take a patient to the cath lab and you do an angiogram, you immediately, if he needs an angioplasty, you do it on the table. No need to get back the patient twice to the cath lab. So, but we don't know the size beforehand for that patient at that time. And then after doing angiogram, we would like to know we would know the size, and then we have to ensure that that size is available first of all. And it puts a most difficult. The cardiologists have a difficult decision to make, to decide which patient actually should be given a drug stent and which patient need not be given, should be given a non-drug stent. Now we are putting at this point of the year, we are putting for everybody drug coated stent, but at that time there was a limitation. And so because of this complication of so many sizes being available, and then we have to buy only lesser number of sizes, and then deciding on the table what to do for the patient. The purchase is always a lottery or a jugglery. We used to go by past history of the usage of the stent, and then also with some gut feeling, okay, this by seeing the general trend of these cases, this is a gut feeling, these sizes could be used. So one day it happened, the patient is on the table, and the cardiologist did not have the stent he wanted, the size. So he was not happy, and then he came out, and then he told me, you are responsible for this situation. Now when I look back, actually it was funny for me because I was not involved in the decision making of the budget or the procurement or the decision making of a patient getting admitted, or a decision to decide which stent to be given to the patient. I was only involved in deciding the size of the procurement, the numbers. But at that point of time, and this whole problem comes up because the varieties are so many with the available resources, we can't keep all of them and all that. So but at that point of time I felt responsible and felt hurt. So I came home and decided to pray to Swami. And then I said, okay. I sat in front of my house altar, and then I decided what to pray. At that point of time, I was learning various stotrams of Adi Shankaracharya, written by Adi Shankaracharya, and decided Kanakadhara Stotram is the one I am going to use for praying to Swami. If golden showers could happen from Adi Shankaracharya, let me have 50 cents with that stotram. So that 50 cents is basically for that month's requirement. I felt for that month's requirement we should ask. So how many times to chant Kanakadhara Stotram? Again question. So I decided, okay, Ashtalashmis are there, so 8 times let me chant Kanakadhara Stotram. So I chanted 8 times Kanakadhara Stotram, prayed to Swami to give 50 cents. And I would not say to my surprise, because I was always expecting a response for the prayers, that within 3 days there were 25 drug-eluting stents. Swami had decided that we will have we need only 25 stents for that month, for the remaining period of that month, as a donation in the pharmacy. So even Swami is omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, whether he is in the physical form or without the physical form, and he continues to respond to the prayers. The next one is actually more democratization of the prayers, actually. So the issue is like this. We have 2 cath labs, one from Siemens and one from Philips. In each cath lab, we have something called FFR interface box, fractional flow reserve interface box. And at the period before 2016, there were only 2 companies in the world, Volcano Therapeutics and ST Jude. Now this FFR box was supplied by Siemens and also by Philips, and Siemens has supplied Volcano Therapeutics FFR box, and Philips has supplied ST Jude FFR box. This is before 2016. Siemens and Philips are competitors across the world, providing top class equipment to the healthcare institutions. So they are always in competition. They won't talk with each other especially. So finally we got these 2 boxes. But in 2016, Philips has bought over the Volcano. When Philips bought over the Volcano in 2016, they increased the prices of the consumables that can be used with this FFR box by 30%. So the consumables cost has gone up, making sure that the running cost has gone up. So from the department side, we have put a proposal asking for a replacement of this Volcano FFR box with the ST Jude FFR box. This was in September 2016 or something. And then the finance controller, who was actually always looking for cost savings, was somehow indifferent for this proposal. And nothing is happening after speaking to him a couple of times. And we are losing money in the sense that we are not having cost savings because of the increase in the price of Volcano's FFR. So the finance manager and myself, we devised another strategy. We had an upcoming contract from ST Jude to buy some consumables from a different division. FFR is in a different division, and these consumables we have to buy is from a different division. So we decided we will try to get this FFR box as part of that consumables from ST Jude, which we buy every year. We negotiated with the people, they agreed. December 31st is the year closing for them, and then till December 30th they were okay, and we were ready to raise the purchase order. On December 31st they went back on that commitment, ST Jude. So even that route is over, and I was coming back from the finance department in the basement to my workplace in the first floor with these thoughts. As I am crossing the lift, these thoughts were going through my mind. I said, Swami, I have done my best. You have appointed the people, you have to take care. That much only is my communication in this, my thought process. I have done my best, you have appointed the people, you have to take care. Now when we say you have appointed people, some of us are direct, some of the staff in the hospital are directly appointed by Swami, some of them were indirectly. The reason being, in Mysore, once in 1960s, Swami was in the second floor and watching people going on the road. So somebody gets a feeling that somebody is watching and he looks up. Swami will close the curtain. And then that person goes front, and again Swami will open the curtain and keep watching people on the road. So Kamavadhanli Garu observed this for some time and asked Swami, why are you closing the curtains? Swami said, they do not have the prapti of knowing that I am seeing them. Swami sees everybody. Some people know that Swami is seeing them, some people does not know. Even during darshan rounds, you can make out if Swami is not happy with somebody, you can make out, but that is a history of Puttaparthi. So similarly, when in Swami's organization, there are some people whom Swami directly appoints, whom we know that Swami has appointed. There are many others who work in Swami, but we know that nobody can be here without Swami's permission. So I said, Swami, you take care. Over. December 31st, that must be around 4 p.m. I just left it like that. And this is how Swami took care. Next day morning, that volcano FFR box didn't work. From next day onwards, it did not work. And this volcano FFR box was covered by Siemens for warranty, and they have to replace it. In the normal course of time, they will only replace with Volcano's FFR box. They won't replace with ST Jude FFR box even if we ask. But in this situation, what happened? This Volcano was bought over by Philips, who is their competitor. So they cannot buy from their competitor, it seems. But they have to execute the contract. The contract has been signed by them. They have to execute the contract, and they have to provide us with the replacement. Some discussions are happening, and meanwhile, Swami has managed to get one more manager into the picture, who came and took over the accounts in Bangalore, who was very supportive of our requirement. So this new person who has came spoke on our behalf, and after many twists and turns, Siemens has bought an ST Jude FFR box and then gave it to us, which satisfied our requirement, and also we need not pay any money for the procurement of that as our previous requisition. Another advantage of this episode, Swami taking care, is if we had bought and put the FFR box, we will have to take care of the warranty and the failures. Since Siemens has put it, they are taking care of in the overall CMC, they are taking care of the failure of the equipment. This is how, I would say democratization, because I was not sitting anywhere and praying. I was just, Swami says, I am around you, in you, above you, omnipresent and all that. You just have to keep in touch with him wherever you are. Then the response comes. As you would have observed, I started with grateful salutations. So I will end with an experience of that gratitude. As I was mentioning before, Swami used to interact with us in the first years of the hospital. So whenever we come to Puttaparthi, he will call us for an interview. So once I was sitting in Puttaparthi for darshan, and suddenly I had an inspiration. So I decided I will write this down on my paper and give it to Swami as a letter. So I wrote it down. Swami came for darshan. He completed his darshan rounds. Then he called everybody, all of our Bangalore boys who come for darshan, into the interview room. As is the practice, Swami entered last the interview room once everybody is settled inside, walked to his throne in the interview room, and then sat on that, immediately took the letter from me, immediately read it, and immediately responded. He is the one who gives the inspiration. He is the one who responds to teach us a lesson. After he told me, విలువ తెలుసుకుని వర్తించుకో. Translated in English, know the value and conduct yourself. This know is not NO, it is KNOW. Know the value and conduct yourself. So what was that inspiration which made me write that letter? What did I write in the letter? I said, Dearest Swami, there are crores and crores of students in this world, of which only few hundreds or thousands are able to study in your institution. And in that few thousands who have studied in your institution, you have provided opportunity for only a few tens to work in your institution. I am grateful to you, Swami, for giving this opportunity of working in your institution. That is the letter I have written to Swami, and this Swami's response was, విలువ తెలుసుకొని వర్తించుకో. This before I tell more about explain about this విలువ తెలుసుకొని వర్తించుకో, let me clarify some things. So it is not about the number of years you stay here. It is not about the nearness you might feel because you are working in Swami's institution. In one of the discourses which Swami gave to the ashram invites, he told them, what is the point of you staying here for years when there is no change in you? Even the rocks and the sand in Puttaparthi are millions of years old. What is the point of you without having a change in you? The other thought I have was, what is the point of feeling nearness when there is no change? The most nearest things to Swami is the bed he sleeps on, the robe he wears. Is there any change? So, when Swami said విలువ తెలుసుకొని వర్తించుకో, it actually means he is giving us an opportunity, and we are expected to go through the path for which he is giving us just the opportunity. I will explain with an example. Suppose we have gone to the England now, and by God's grace we have got the Kohinoor diamond with us. We have to take it to our home in our village somewhere, and there are multiple ways of coming with the Kohinoor diamond to our place, either by ship or by flight, or now people are going on a car journey across the world, bike journeys. There are multiple ways of coming to our village, and then along with the Kohinoor. It is not the number of days you travel, it is whether you reach the home with that Kohinoor. You might travel for 3 months, 6 months, but are you able to reach ultimately the home with your Kohinoor? That's what defines. During your travel, there will be so many distractions. There will be bunts, rastarokos, there will be celebrations, there will be functions, there will be melas, there will be curfews. Anything you get sidetracked during that travel, you have always the chance of losing the Kohinoor. You might it would be good to continue to go as a group, but the whole group has to feel the urgency to reach home with that diamond, with that Kohinoor. If the group gets sidetracked, then the whole of going as a group is of no use. So, Kohinoor is the opportunity Swami has given to us. He has provided a groups of people who are in the same thinking process. Knowing this value, Swami is telling, conduct yourself and for me to reach the goal. You might have companions, you might have groups, but at the end of the day, it is your individual travel to reach the goal. So with these thoughts in mind, I again offer my grateful salutations to Swami's feet and thank everyone for listening to this talk. Sai Ram.
Gariga sari nisa nisari ma pani pa ma gariga sari nisa ni nisa gariga sari nisa nisari ma pani pa ma gariga sari nisa nisari ma pa ma pa.
ఈ 3 గంటల సమయంలో వచ్చినటువంటి స్వప్నము పరమ సత్యమవుతుంది అని దశరథుని యొక్క విశ్వాసం.
It is the feeling of Dasharatha. What all that he dreams in the early hours of the morning will come true.
ఏం వచ్చింది?
What was the dream?
తాను వృద్ధుడైనట్టు,
as if he
చేతులు కాళ్ళు వణుకుతూ ఉన్నట్టు,
as if his age, the hands and the feet were shivering,
అపశకునాలంతా కూడా జరిగినట్టు,
well, he was facing all kinds of bad
చాలా
omens,
బాధపడుతూ లేచాడు.
and feeling so sad he got up.
నేను ఇంకెక్కువ కాలం ఉండలేను,
I don't think I would live long.
రాములకు పట్టాభిషేకం చేయాలి,
Rama must be coronated.
సంకల్పించుకున్నాడు అప్పటికప్పుడే.
That was his determination.
రాజు తలిస్తే దీనికి ఏం కొదువు ఉంటుంటుంది.
When king decided, everything will necessarily happen.
ఏర్పాటు ఏమీ అవసరం లేదు,
Arrangements are not necessary.
కాబట్టి చేయాలన్నాడు.
So he was prepared to coronate Rama.
వశిష్ఠుల వారిని పిలిపించాడు.
He summoned Vasishtha
అతని దగ్గర కూడా ఆజ్ఞ తీసుకున్నాడు.
and he took his permission.
కానీ రాములు
But Rama,
సమత్వము అనేటువంటి దాన్ని, సోషల్ అనేటువంటి దాన్ని ఆనాడే ప్రారంభించాడు.
in fact, that equal mindedness, the social obligation, was very well realized by Rama.
అందరూ సమత్వంగా ఉండాలి.
All should be equal.
ఈ హెచ్చు పల్లములు ఏమాత్రం ఉండకూడదు.
There is nothing like ups and downs.
భేదములకు అవకాశమే అందించకూడదు.
There should not be any
సర్వులు
difference.
సమానత్వమైనటువంటి జీవితాన్ని గడపాలి.
All should lead life in an equal way.
జీవులు అందరూ ఒక్కటే,
All beings are one.
దేవుడు ఒక్కడే.
God is one.
కాబట్టి దేవుడు ఒక్కడు, జీవులు అనేకత్వము.
God is one, but
ఈ
the beings are
అనేకత్వాన్ని
many.
ఏకత్వంగా కూర్చడమే రాముని యొక్క ప్రధానమైనటువంటి లక్ష్యం అనుకున్నాడు.
It was the feature of Rama to find the unity in diversity.
వశిష్ఠుల వారు అంగీకరించారు.
Vasishtha accepted.
రామును దగ్గర పిలిచాడు.
And he called Rama to come close to him.
Rama.
Rama,
నీకు యువరాజు పట్టం కట్టాలని సంకల్పించుకున్నాను.
it's my idea to
రేపటి
coronate.
దినమే సిద్ధంగా ఉంటుండన్నాడు.
Be ready, you are going to be coronated tomorrow morning.
రాముడు సర్వజ్ఞుడు,
Rama is omniscient.
సర్వశక్తిమయుడు,
He is all powerful.
సర్వవ్యాపకుడు,
He is all pervasive.
సర్వచింతామయుడు.
And he knows everything.
యోచించాడు.
And he thought,
ఒకరు చెప్పనక్కర్లేదు,
I don't need to be told by
కానీ
anybody.
తండ్రికి జవాబు చెప్పటము మంచిది కాదని కొంచెం యోచిస్తూ కూర్చున్నాడు.
And he was thinking this way, that it's not appropriate to answer the father's command.
నాన్న,
He said, Father,
భరతుడు ఇక్కడ లేడు కదా,
Bharata is not here.
శత్రుఘ్నుడు ఇక్కడ లేడు కదా,
Shatrughna is not present.
కాబట్టి వాడు రావాలి కదా అన్నాడు.
Should they not be present for the
అవి నీకు
coronation?
అనవసరము,
It's not necessary, don't
నా
talk.
ఆజ్ఞ నీవు శిరసా వహించమన్నాడు.
You follow my command, he said.
మంచిది,
He said,
కానీ
fine. Yet,
మేము నలుగురు ఒక నక్షత్రంలో పుట్టాము,
in fact, all 4 brothers are born in the same
ఒక్కరు
star.
ఒక యజ్ఞహోమం పాయసం నుంచి పుట్టాము.
One is born because of the sacrificial food.
మాకు నలుగురికి అక్షరాభ్యాసం ఒక సమానంగానే చేశారు.
All the 4 started learning alphabets on the same
నామకరణం
day.
అందరికి సమానంగానే చేశారు.
In fact, all were trained in the same way.
ఉపనయనం అందరికి సమానంగానే చేశారు.
The sacred thread ceremony was performed on the same
వివాహములు
day.
కూడా అందరికి సమానంగానే చేశారు.
And the marriage also were performed.
కానీ పట్టాభిషేకం నాకు మాత్రమే ఎందుకు కట్టాలి?
Why is it that I alone should be coronated? Why?
నలుగురికి ఒకే తూరి పట్టాభిషేకం
Let
కట్టాలి.
all the 4 be coronated at the same moment.
అప్పుడు దశరథుడికి చాలా ఇదేసింది.
Then Dasharatha was...
ఆయన రాజ్యం ఒక్కటి,
In fact, there is only one
రాజు
king.
ఒక్కడే,
One king, that's all.
కాబట్టి నలుగురికి చేయడానికి వీలు కాదన్నాడు.
And it's not possible to coronate all the 4.
నాలుగుగా విభజించు, నలుగురికి 4 భాగములు అందించు.
And he said, let this kingdom be split into 4.
కాబట్టి
all
మా
the four
నలుగురికి
be
ఒకే
coronate.
పర్యాయం పట్టాభిషేకం జరగాలి.
Let all the four of us be declared as
వివిధ కాలంలో
kings.
జరగడానికి వీలు లేదు అన్నాడు.
There should not be any kind of differences among us.
దశరథుడు తల తిరిగిపోయింది.
Dasharatha felt the reeling sensation.
రామ నువ్వు కొంతసేపు పోయి రామని చెప్పాడు.
He said, Ram, better you leave, spend some time.
రాములను పంపించాడు.
And he sent away.
వశిష్ఠులు వారిని పిలిచి ఆలోచిస్తూ వచ్చాడు.
And he called Vasishtha, started consulting him.
వశిష్ఠుల వారు కూడాను రాములకు నేను నచ్చ చెప్పడానికి ప్రయత్నిస్తాను అన్నాడు.
Vasishtha said that he will
మన
try to
తరతరముల
convince.
నుంచి కూడాను మన రాజ్యము ఒకే రాజుగా వచ్చేటువంటిది.
Since many of the generations, the entire kingdom was
కానీ
under the
ఇప్పుడు
control of one
రాముని
king.
యొక్క సంకల్పానుసారంగా అనేక విధమైనటువంటి ఒక రాజ్యమును విభజించాలి.
And today Rama wants the kingdom to be split.
విభజించడం కాదు, ఒక్కొక్క గ్రామం ఒక్కొక్కరికి.
No, that in fact a part should be given to one, each of them.
ఈ విధంగా తాను విభజించడానికి వీలైనప్పుడు రాములు అంగీకరించలేదు.
And this has not been acceptable.
ఇంతే కాకుండా ఈ దశరథునికి వృద్ధుడైపోయాడు.
Dasharatha was aged.
వయసు వచ్చిన తర్వాత బుద్ధి అస్తవ్యస్తమైపోతుంటాది.
Quite old in age, he is suffering
ఈ
from this.
చింతలంతా అతనికి సరైనటువంటి అర్థం కలగదు.
And he could not understand the reality.
కనుక అతనికి అర్థమయ్యే రీతిగా భర్త శత్రుఘ్నులు రావాలి అన్నాడు.
And to make him understand, he said that Bharata Shatrugna should be
వాడు
present.
రావడానికి 15 దినములు పడుతుంది.
And it will take 15 days for them to be here.
కాబట్టి దీనివల్ల ఎంతైనా యోచన చేసుకోవచ్చు అన్నాడు. కాలం గడుపుతూ వచ్చాడు.
In the
రాముడు.
meantime, they can consult
రాముని
each
యొక్క
other.
శక్తి సామర్థ్యములు, రాముని యొక్క యుక్తిపేక్తులు చాలా విచిత్రమైనటువంటిది, చిత్రమైనటువంటివి.
The power and the capacity and the potential of Rama was so mysterious
అందరూ
and
సమర్థంగా
wonderful.
ఉండాలి.
Everybody should be
అది
equal.
ఏ భారతీయ సంస్కృతి యొక్క ప్రథమ సత్యము.
That is the main principle of the culture of Bharat.
సర్వలోక సుఖినో భవంతు, లోక సమస్తా సుఖినో భవంతు, అందరూ సుఖంగా ఉండాలి.
That everybody in this entire universe be happy and comfortable.
ఇలాంటి ప్రాచీనమైనటువంటి యొక్క సంస్కృతిని తాను పాటిస్తూ వచ్చున్నాడు.
This has been the teaching of the ancient culture of Bharat.
కాబట్టి ఈ పట్టాభిషేకం అప్పటికి నిలిచిపోయింది.
So coronation had to be stopped at that
తరువాత
moment.
భరత శక్తుని పిలిపించారు.
In the meantime, Bharata Shatrugna came.
ఇందులో కూడాను ఎలాంటి పవిత్రమైనటువంటి యొక్క దృశ్యాలు, ఎవరు కూడాను రామాయణాలు చదువుతున్నారు.
People go through Ramayana.
పెద్ద పెద్ద తలదిండు మాదిరి ఉండేటువంటి పుస్తకాలంతా తెచ్చిపెట్టుకుంటున్నారు.
They got the books of the size of pillow.
ఏమి ప్రయోజనము?
What is the use?
కంఠస్థం చేస్తుంటారు.
They get it by heart.
కానీ సారాన్ని ఇంతైనా కూడాను దాన్ని గ్రహించలేరు.
They get it by heart, read it repeatedly, but they don't carry any essence.
హరే రామ హరే రామ 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 హరే 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 రామ హరే రామ 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 హరే 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 రామ హరే రామ 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 హరే
Hare